The United States should place a strict policy on the right to own a firearm to every citizen in every state. According to research in 2017, more than half of homicide and suicides were caused by firearms. This indicates that this is a serious and sensitive issue because a large amount of tragedies are caused by guns. And I believe this is mainly because the people who own these guns are not by the right people. And although the United States has a constitutional right for every citizen to bear a firearm, most of the time a gun is used for other reasons that have nothing to do with self defense, and it is because of hatred reasons. And according to a publication and research by the Violence Policy Center, the use of guns in self defense by a private citizen is extremely rare. The research also found that a gun is more likely to be used in a homicide or suicide. The best way to reduce crime and fatality due to guns is to place stricter policies to own one. Pew Research Center claims experiences with guns aren't always positive. 44% of US adults say they personally know someone who has been shot either accidentally or intentionally, and about a quarter say they know someone in their family that have been threatened or intimidated by someone who owns a gun. And I think this is very true because this incident where people know about others that have been threatened, whether in their family or other outside places, this could actually apply to me because one of my own neighbors, unfortunately, was threatened by a couple of gangbangers with their gun and over to steal his money. Unfortunately, my neighbor had heart problems and he instantly died, and it wasn't because of a gunshot. He died because he had heart problems and he got a heart attack over being scared of the gun. And I am very sure there should also be large cases where people get heart attacks because they've been threatened with a gun, and I just think that's not fair. This is a large example of why there should be strict policies when owning a gun. There was also research on how it's much more easier to obtain a gun than it is to obtain a car, and that's something to worry about because it's not a joke. Guns, are something serious. And most importantly, the lives of others are extremely serious. We can't just take away people's lives over for no reason. If it was some type of game, that's not okay. There needs to be more seriousness when it comes to this. And, I personally think owning a gun is not a necessity. It's not a huge necessity where us as citizens wouldn't be able to survive. Of course, like how I mentioned before, these guns are most likely used for hatred reasons and not necessarily for self-defense because it's very rare. Another thing too is that we, especially us in the United States, unfortunately we have a large amount of tragic events where people have been fatally shot in elementary schools, middle schools, and universities. And this is because children, young adults take the guns and firearms of their parents and they bring it to school. And another incident that I got to experience was, in high school there was another high school that was right across mine, and in that high school a girl took a firearm to school and she fatally shot two of her classmates. And luckily nothing bad happened to them and they were able to recover, but according to the police, she shot them on accident. But whether accident or on purpose, no child should be taking a gun to school. That's just absolutely wrong. And it shows that their parents or whoever person who owned this gun in their house did not have any precautions or any seriousness with their firearms, because how did their children get a hold of it? I think there should be a background check when someone should purchase a firearm. That is one of the propositions I have for this issue. And with the background check, they could see if the people that want to get it have a criminal record, and check if they have any violence history. And another way that the people who get these background checks and are approved to get a gun is to track the guns that they buy. So in that way, they're not able to sell the gun or let to a different person or let another person borrow them. The police or the company to whoever sold them the gun can track down the gun, and in that way there shouldn't be any more tragedies. Unfortunately, we don't it's not assured that no more gun tragedies are gonna occur, but I can assure that this will help a lot. And all we need is for a lot of us and the citizens to contribute into approving more policies with gun control.